What's going on, guys? This is Mr. DeLorean here. Welcome back to a brand new video, and welcome to my review and discussion video for 1015 The Tower. So like usual, review first and discussion second. So without further ado or any distractions, let's hop right into the review. So the acting in this episode was pretty good. A lot of the standouts in this episode were probably people like, you know, Eugene, like everyone in the Eugene squad and everything. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Cassidy, McClin. I can never pronounce her name right and everything. The girl who plays Lydia and everything. Judith, Norman Reedus, and everyone else was pretty good in my opinion. The camera work was good, just the casual, like, you know, Walking Dead stuff, standard, not bad, just good and standard and everything. There was this one sequence that I liked where the camera followed someone around the hospital. I think it was Gabriel. That was cool in my opinion. It was like, you know, the main standout shot that I, like, you know, saw, like, and like was like wow, like the most and everything. Everything else was not bad, but it was just pretty standard. The special effects and makeup, like usual, good and everything. Walker's great, everything just great. But to be perfectly honest, review wise, that's all. Besides the music, but like the camera work and everything, the music is very standard Walking Dead music and everything. Not bad and everything, just standard. So on to the discussion, which in the discussion I'm only gonna touch on each character plot point once at a time so it's easier to follow. So let's hop right into that. I really like the moments between Princess, Eugene, Ezekiel, and Yumiko. The opening scene was hilarious and everything, and like how Yumiko and like the princess start getting into like, you know, aggressive conversation, and Ezekiel steps in and as like kind of like the calming middleman and everything. I thought that was really funny, just like a really good moment and everything, because I'm loving the princess character so far in this series. I really like the scene when they were like talking about her and everything, and she came over and they asked for her, like, you know, LMG weapon or anything. That fucking bad. I really like that weapon. They asked for her weapon or anything, and she's like planning out how she'd kill him and everything, like right in front of them, and she was like, oh, I'd probably kill all of them, but then he'd be left to kill, like, you know, me. Like Eugene's reaction when she said that was like just sold the comedy in that scene really well. Now the minefield scene, without going on for hours and everything, the realization of the fields, like, you know, the minefield and everything was really funny. The whole thing had like a really good mixture of comedy and actual tension and some emotion. I liked Ezekiel's motivational speech and everything to help like talk the princess through, like, you know, how to get through, like, you know, her minefields, and how the princess did eeny miny mo. I thought like everyone was flipping on Twitter when that like she started doing that and everything, because it was actually really cool, like I guess you could say a reference. Then they found their way out and everything through the minefield, which was cool. And that whole scene when they realized that they went to a full circle on, like, you know, Melbro Drive or whatever the hell it was called, I think was actually a really good moment. Yumiko, Ezekiel, and Eugene confronts her and everything, and even Eugene gets like really heated at her and everything. He's like, no, I specifically remember that we followed through this already, and that was actually really cool to see him actually get really angry with her. But yeah, I really like this scene and everything, because like they could have played the princess off as like just a jokey and lighthearted character, but they actually gave her depth and like emotion like in this like scene and everything, and it made it like a really good and emotional moment. But it was even better when Eugene kind of finally gave in, actually related to her, like, yeah, I've been lonely before, I've lied to people and everything, which was kind of a callback to when he lied about being a scientist, like, you know, Abraham and like, you know, the whole group. But when they find their wheels and everything, aka like, you know, the bikes, that was actually a really funny, like, you know, scene. But when Yumiko told Princess she could join, like, you know, their group and everything and come with them, it became a very sweet and, like, you know, good moment and everything, really funny also and everything, and I really liked it a lot, especially how Princess was like, we could go back to my place and get all this stuff and everything. I have candy, and Eugene's like eyes widened. But their plotline was probably like the best in the episode. Like, it was really good. I'm loving the Princess character so far. The actress who plays her just sells the role and everything really well and everything, and she's like perfect for the character. The character just spot on, just perfect. Now Beta's plot. The invasion of Alexandria was alright and everything. I'm still really bummed that we never got that epic defense, like, you know, battle and everything against the Horde between like everyone. That would have been really cool. The whole thing with the voice in his head was, yet again, it was alright. Like, it just wasn't really anything too, like, you know, whoa and everything. The moment when that one whisper called him like Alpha and everything, you know, almost stabbed her, was really cool actually. Like, I really like that, because we don't know what happened to that last whisper that called him Alpha. But not much like else or anything about his plot that, like, you know, really like excited me. Like, I didn't really enjoy much else about his plot or anything, and I didn't really find much else interesting. Now on to Carol and Kelly's plot. There's only one scene that really, like, you know, that's really worthy to talk about and everything, and like, you know, for their, like, you know, plot and everything, and that's the car scene. I found that scene to be actually very powerful actually. Like, I personally loved it, like how emotional and sweet it was and everything, and how Kelly brought up, like, you know, the superpower thing that like Connie told him about and everything, just all of that, and how he brought up Carol's past and how, like, you know, that's her superpower to, like, you help everyone and everything by her own and everything. And I thought that was really cool, calling back to like moments like, when like Carol like, saved everyone at Terminus, like moments like that. But it was all really nice and everything. And that scene was just wonderfully performed and everything by like, both actresses. Now on to Lydia and Negan's plot. So this plot actually started out pretty rocky for me and everything. Like Lydia was being a pretty pissy person towards like people like Judith, or at least that's how I interpreted it and everything. Like a lot of people might just say, oh, she was just being like a little bit like forward to her and everything, but I think I just interpret it as like she was being a little bit like rude to like Judith. Her first scene with Negan was like yet again she was very nasty, and like Negan was just trying to be genuine like about how he actually liked her mother and everything. I thought that was interesting. But then you just had Lydia and everything who came in and just went, oh we all wish you died too and everything and all of that, and just like none of this is on the actress like that plays like Lydia and everything. It's just how the character acted, like but their final scene when Lydia came rushing in and like screaming at Negan saying it's not okay and everything, and how he like said she could hit him, and how like she finally gave in, and that final breakdown between the two was like beautiful in my opinion. Like it was such an emotional and amazing scene between the two, especially how Negan like also started to cry like a little bit. It was just like an awesome scene. I really did like it. It was probably their best moment between each other and everything in this episode, even though there's only two, but out of the two this was the best one. Now Alden and Aaron's plot. The only thing I personally liked about their plot is honestly like when they were captured by that like small band of like whisperers, and that one whisper pointed that gun at like Aaron and everything, and like Aaron actually looked stunned at like whoever it was, which was really cool and everything. I really do wonder why he looks so stunned and who that person is. Like, is it just a normal whisperer or is it one of our characters? But now into the final plot, Daryl and Judith. I really liked the first conversation between the two and everything, and how Daryl told her to go back and everything, and how he actually confronted her kind of. Now of course I won't harp on this for too long, and like how Judith didn't like tell Daryl about Rick and everything, but now we have Virgil back and everything, and with his like return and everything in 1016, I feel a little less annoyed about the fact that she didn't tell like Daryl, but he finally gave in and everything and let Judith like join on his like little like scouting thing and everything, and started teaching her on what he does and how he does like tracking and noticing if something's wrong and everything. And that was actually pretty cool. When Judith found that one clue on the tree and everything, that little mark, and was kind of like starting to pick up on like tracking and everything, we actually saw Daryl smile, which I thought was really awesome and everything, and sweet, because he like, you can imagine that he's actually proud of her for starting to learn and pick stuff up pretty quick. Them hunting and killing that one whisperer was alright. Like them chasing her and everything was really cool and everything, but when they like had that conversation with her, I was kind of like bugged out. Like I was just like I really don't care and everything. Like it wasn't bad, but just wasn't great. Judith's reaction to killing the whisperer was a little odd and everything. Like she wants to learn to do what Daryl does, but that's a part of the job, is killing people, when obviously he doesn't want to do it, but he has to. Daryl and Judith's final moment was really good and everything, like how like them getting emotional and everything about like just stuff, and Daryl saying to her and everything that she really has to tell him where this is all coming from and everything. That was just a very good and emotional moment between like the two and everything, and it just ended sweet. But that final tense call by Gabriel and everything, that the horde was arriving and Daryl freaked out and ran, that was really cool in my opinion. But that was really my review and discussion for 1015 The Tower and everything. I liked the episode and everything. It had tons of good moments, but also some bad ones and everything. Days before the episode premiered, actually, I saw a lot of early reviews of people saying that they were that the episode was disappointing, which it wasn't disappointing. It just didn't deliver everything that a lot of people wanted. Like a lot of people said that the title of the episode was just like a massive waste. Like many people, like myself or anything, thought Gabe would die this, or Gabriel and anything would die this episode, but he didn't. And I actually wanted him to, not because he's a bad character, just like I want to see that death really badly. Also, I can't agree that not much happened this episode, honestly. Like there were only small moments that I really liked and everything, like the entire plot with the princess and everything. That was really well done. The Carol and Kelly moment, the payoff between Lydia and Negan and everything, the Daryl and Judith plot and everything, even though it had some character inconsistencies, and the ending was pretty cool. But that's really all and everything. Make sure to leave your thoughts down below on the episode. Did you like the episode? Are you hyped for the finale dropping later this year and everything? Because I definitely am and everything, and I definitely know I am for this 16th episode. I actually broke down the trailer to episode 16 and everything on my channel and everything, so make sure to go check that out if you haven't already and everything, because it is an awesome trailer, and there's tons of stuff that I'm pretty sure you might not have noticed or anything your first watch, your second watch, or your 10th watch, or anything that I pointed out in the trailer breakdown. But that was all for me and everything. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more of the latest news and everything, not interviews, but reviews and stuff like that and everything, breakdowns to all this stuff like that and everything. And yep, I see you guys later. Peace, my amigos, and peace out.